12 minutes before the closing bell rings. Back now live from Omaha, Nebraska, and the Berkshire Hathaway headquarters here. You know the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, Warren Buffett knows and understands that saying very well, so much so that he bought a basket of 75 million Apple shares for his Berkshire Hathaway shareholders. The Oracle of Omaha back with me now. Apple hitting a record high. It's up 4% since this was all disclosed. And I'd love to know how you purchased it. Did you purchase it through puts? Did you get a negotiated price?
No, we did. We bought like the open market. So day by day, we bought it, and that's the way we buy virtually everything, Liz.
So you didn't get any special deal?
Oh, no. We just bought it. We would sometimes, I would just tell Mark in the morning, you know, do 10% of the volume or do 5% of the volume or whatever it may be, and here's the limit, and he takes care of it.
You were adding to a position already.
Right.
Who was the first to bring Apple to your table?
Well, one of our managers talked to me about it, but of course I was familiar. I knew Steve Jobs a little bit, and not very much, but I've been familiar with the company. But I got a perspective on it, developed it, and aided by one of the people in the office. But
you won't say Ted or Todd?
I never identify that.
Okay.
But it just became apparent to me as one of the great. Well, is maybe the greatest consumer product ever developed virtually. And we'll see over time.
Better than the popcorn maker at the, you know.
Well, not in my personal
Pampered
life.
Chef.
Not in my personal life. I use a popcorn popper more.
Much more than the iPhone.
Yeah, although a shareholder sent me an iPhone 10, and he sent me a nice, very nice letter with it, and kind of explaining to it like he would to a 2-year-old how to do it, and I'll get to it.
Eventually. Amazon is obviously just a freight train. It's quite unbelievable.
Jeff Bezos is a business genius, Liz.
When you start to hear rumblings in Washington, D.C., oh, let's break this up. I mean, this is pure capitalism that's actually made people's lives better.
Sure. No, I mean, it's been built. It has not been built by anything that Washington should be concerned about. And you know, he hasn't bought up all the steel mills in the country that couldn't hold the steel industry or something like that. He took an idea and did something that is almost unbelievable with it, and not only developed an incredible business in retailing, but at the same time was building up the cloud business.
If it fell during some headline risk situation in the world, who knows where the whole market is down, would you scoop some up?
It's possible, but other things would be falling at the same time. I made a huge mistake in not getting into it, but I make a lot of mistakes.
Do you think that you made a huge mistake not getting into Facebook? I bring up Mark. No,
not because I was not capable of evaluating that. The truth is, I wasn't capable of imagining just how far and how fast that Jeff would take Amazon. I knew he was extremely good, but I did not predict what has happened.
Well, over to Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. He's only 2 slots behind you as the world's 5th richest man. And, you know, if he were to ask you for some guidance and some mentorship on dealing with A, incredible personal wealth, and B, incredible personal power and professional power, we saw the data scandal here. I mean, what would you tell him if he asked?
I think he's quite grounded, and he's got a very grounded wife, too, and you know, young child. And I think he's very capable of making very good decisions, and as I say, his wife too. The two of them, I'm impressed with them, and they'll accomplish a whole lot with the money he has made in Facebook, and a very high percentage of his fortune will go back to society. He's declared that already.
Before we go, I do want to ask you really quickly about buying through the years, buying big companies through the years. And when I talked to you about Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin on the phone recently, because I had just had an opportunity to interview him, you said, oh, I knew his dad, Bob.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bob Mnuchin, on a Thursday in 1976, bought the first. I mean, I'd been in it 25 years earlier, but he bought the first big blocks of Geico for Berkshire Hathaway. I called him in the morning. I was going into a director's meeting at the Washington Post, and I'd met Jack Byrne the night before it was coming in to take over. And I called him and I said, Minuch, buy every share you can. And so I went in the meeting. I wasn't thinking about the meeting at all. I was thinking, how many shares is Minuch getting? And I called him when I got out, and he bought a lot of stock that day. And you can't believe how much money we made on it. He did a terrific job for us.
Well, 6 degrees of separation there.
Yeah.
All right.